Afternoon, everyone. You're listening to the At Home with Charlene show with Charlene. Thank you for joining us today. Love to have you tune in. I have two special guests with me today. I have Freed Smith with All Valley Escrow, and I have Kathleen Bruno with Century 21 Troop Real Estate. And you know what? We decided today we're going to do a fun, candid show about women in business, how women deal with their daily stresses, and just thought we'd do a fun, kind of unscripted show today.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
I'm excited. I said, let's just hit some bullet points today. Let's make it fun. Let's make it inviting. Easter's this Sunday. Everyone's going to have some fun with that, I'm assuming. What are you guys going to do?
Let's see. I'm going to go to church. We go to COC for that, for the Easter service. Then we're having the kids over, and it's just going to be hang out, probably get in the pool, and have a great dinner.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, I got to go run to the bank, get my dollar bills, stuff them in my Easter eggs,
Well, you're lucky you get away with dollar bills. Because with a 14-year-old and a 17-and-a-half-year-old, dollar bills aren't cutting it anymore.
They want 5,
They do.
10s, 20s.
They do. I even asked them if they wanted Easter baskets this year because I thought this might be the year that they were both past it. But I got a resounding yes. So I've already got the Easter baskets in the back of the car and the $5 bills.
Yeah, because you know what? Even the older they get, closer to 18 and on, I mean, when my mom was like, "Do you still like these?" I love the Easter basket. I still want an Easter basket. Just put age-appropriate things in there.
I wanted an Easter basket at 35.
Yeah, I stopped mine at 18.
Oh.
They're now 25 and 22.
They're on their own.
Yeah, and they're on their own. They can get their own Easter baskets.
Well, I might be in trouble because I did want one till I was 35, so I might have to accommodate them since I did it that way.
I think my mom just always provided like a little Easter something or other, whatever it was. I mean, as we got older, it probably wasn't a kiddie Easter basket, but
My kids are probably listening, so that means they're going to want one.
Right. Well, you got to tell Grandma Freed and Mom Freed that you guys need Easter baskets still.
But you know what? That's what we do as moms. We do the unspeakable.
Yeah,
we do more than we need to do, or more than we should do, probably on a lot of occasions.
We definitely do. That's going to be one of our topics today as we talk about women in business and the stresses of women and how we are wives, mothers, working professionals, and how do we go about our daily routines and fit it all in. We all have the same amount of hours in a day. And I mean, both of you work full time, both of you have families, both of you have kids, grandkids, and all these other things that you're a part of. And how do you go about your day and fit it all in? How do you do that?
Well, I don't know that that's actually possible. I struggle a lot with balance. I hear that a lot from women that work a ton and wear a lot of different hats and want to really excel in all the areas of life. And sometimes I just come to the conclusion that 100% balance 100% of the time just isn't possible.
No, it's not.
I agree.
I mean, I think about, obviously we have to give a little shout out to Coach Ron, who is also my business coach. And, he kind of keeps everything in perspective for me. But I also realize that we all have the same amount of hours in a day, and it's how we allocate our time for that time period. So for me, it's like, if a day I have a 5-hour day or 6-hour day or 7-hour day, I'm going to utilize that 5, 6, 7 hours to the best of my ability and really just give it my all for that time I'm there. If we're focused and we pinpoint how we're going to get our objectives done, I think we can get just as much done in 5 hours as in 8 hours sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I manage an escrow company, so I think a lot has to do with if we're busy or if we're on downtime. If we're busy, there could be 12-hour days in there. If I'm not, we stick to an 8-hour day. If I'm going to have a 12-hour day, I know to come in early so I don't have to work so late into the evening. I'm past that stage of my kids being young. I actually have 4 grandkids. So my kids are older, so they're sufficient and can take care of themselves. But I still have my wonderful husband at home that would like to spend some time with his wife and have dinner with his wife and have an evening. So it is hard to work all of that in when you work all the time. So.
And I'll tell you, what I fought for a long time was living and dying by calendar. I didn't think I needed a calendar. I prided myself in being a shapeshifter and being able to just be on level 10 activity all the time and making everything happen. But the busier my business got and grew and the more people I was responsible for, it just really ended up in the end being the way it has to be. So I really use my calendar and utilize my calendar. Do you guys do that?
I'm not as big a calendar person as you probably are, because being a real estate agent, you are out in the market all the time. Most of my time is in the office.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference between you and I. Do I calendar at work? Absolutely. I calendar out my day on what I have to do on my files at work. Charlene, I know you use a calendar all the time because I come into your office and you're on your calendar.
I have an OCD system, color coordinated with, is it urgent? Is it semi-urgent? Can it be pushed off a day? I kind of have that, but I have it in writing, because if it's not in writing and I don't pin it in every day and I don't have the ability to check it and put done next to it, it's just, there's something rewarding about a checklist and being able to do that.
I love a
it's
list,
just,
and I love checking things off. So
One of the things I've been using is my iPhone. It actually will tell me, okay, remind me I need to do this. And at a certain time, it pops up on my phone and bings. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to do that. So, yeah.
That's a good thing. You guys are listening to the At Home with Charlene show on Thursdays 2 to 3 live on KHTS 1220 and now on 98.1. So today we're talking about women in business. We're talking about just being successful and the stresses of a daily life of a working woman and the things that we have to do and that we have to go through. And, one other thing that I was thinking about today is we all have a single driving force behind all of our behavior, and all of our driving force might be different. And I think my driving force behind what I get up and do every day is for my family, and to try to set expectations for our family and try to go out and do my part. Do you guys what expectations do you have that you follow, or what do you do that, drives
me?
Yeah. What drives you on a daily basis?
So I'm 55 and,
but she looks 34.
Well,
Yes.
thank you. And, I guess my drive right now is looking towards retirement. I'm past the stage again of what you ladies are with your kids. So I'm looking down the road, 6, 7, 8 years. Where do I want to be? Where's my husband and I want to be? So we're working on that aspect. And, do you sell your house? Do you not sell your house? What everybody else is dealing with in their, times of that stage of life. Do we move out of town? Do we move to another state? But it's not, my drive actually is just getting up every morning saying thanks to the big man upstairs, and I've got another day. So,
that's a good way to do it, or think about it, because I think, we roll into that Monday morning. And I think I made a post the other day of, I don't think there's one person that wakes up saying, yay, it's Monday. But I realized that a lot of people really like Monday.
Yeah.
They work on the weekend and Monday's their day off or whatever it may be. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I should just have a new way that I look at a Monday. I should just look at, we're grateful that we're up.
Absolutely.
We're grateful that we have another day, another opportunity. And maybe that Monday is going to be like a Friday.
Absolutely.
And how many
Right?
people are wishing they had a job to get up and go to?
Or health.
That's
Yeah,
true.
or could even get up for that matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we just have to realize our blessings that we have.
It's
And-
that turning the negative into a positive.
And the more that we thank God for the blessings we have, it makes it easier to, combat some of those days where you might not feel 100%.
Absolutely.
Versus another day where you're just like, today's great.
Well, and
trying
there also
to.
has to be a level of recognition that you're choosing whatever your day is going to be like.
Yeah. We
So
do have the option to
We do
run our
have
own
the
days.
option. That doesn't mean bad things don't happen, and that doesn't mean
Absolutely.
you don't feel good or it doesn't sound fun anymore. But that everything can be turned around for the most part. I mean, unless something's totally tragic. But I think for the most mundane and the everydayness of life, I think we really have a choice of how we want to think about it and go through.
I mean, I think every day we have a choice of what we're going to do. And I think that every day is a different choice, right? We're faced with something different every day. And we have to figure out, okay, well, how are we going to choose to handle whatever the situation may be? And I think the main focus that we can do is just take each situation and try to focus the positive, or to look into the positive of what it may be, even if it might not be the best scenario. What do you guys do on a day that might not be the best day or a little stressful day, how do you make that a positive day, or how do you go into looking into it and to make it a great day when you're done?
Well, my mom used to have a fabulous saying, and she probably said it 10,000 times to all three of her kids. But when something would happen that seemed catastrophic to us, she would just look right at us and say, 100 years from now, it's not going to make any difference. And I think when you back out your perspective and see that what might be happening isn't really that big, if you look at what in your life is right. So being stuck in traffic, running late for a meeting, losing a client over something that you didn't feel was your fault, or anything that may happen that you perceive as negative, is a very small part of your life when you look at all the blessings you have. There's usually almost always more right than there is wrong.
Absolutely. I think it literally comes down to, again, like a choice.
Yeah,
it comes down to a choice. Are you going to make it a negative and let that eat at you? Are you going to make it a positive out of whatever's happened? Are you going to learn from it? Mm-hmm. I do a lot of praying during the day. When I get an email that's coming in and it's not an email that I expected, it's, I just say a little prayer before I pick up the phone and make a phone call to somebody.
Charlene, you were talking about that earlier this morning when we were driving together, saying that when you get an email that isn't an email you want to get, that you just maybe go to the next email, because if you are reactionary to that email, it may not always be what you really want to say. So if you just sit with it a little while and then, provide the space for yourself to make a decision based not on emotion, but, how you can handle the situation. Because
you want to respond. You want to respond to what you've been receiving, but you don't want to be reacting to it.
And I think that's in our whole life, though. That's not just our emails or our work. It's everywhere. It's with our husband. It's with our kids.
Yes.
It's with friends. It's with family. I think you need to take a step back, think about it before you react to it, because if you're going to react right away, more than likely you're going to react the wrong way, and it's going to cause an issue.
Now, why is it that I can practice that so well in so many areas of my life, and yet when my 17-and-a-half-year-old says something that
they know how to push our buttons.
They do. Oh my goodness. I could tell you a million times, no matter what he says, just going to respond with love and in a good parenting strategy. And then he'll say something and I'll be standing there in utter disbelief going, why am I so bothered by this? So I need you to come to my house and just stand there beside me and then tap me on the shoulder, and I'll look back and you'll tell me just to respond calmly. And I'll be like, okay. Because I don't know another way. He gets me going.
Yeah, they have a tendency of taking us right up to that level, knowing if we go over the edge, what's going to happen. So they just keep us there, and then they back off. Like, Mom, you're okay.
Well, the thing is, you've never loved anything so much in your entire life.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, they can really get you.
They can.
You guys are listening to the At Home with Charlene show on KHTS live on Thursdays 2 to 3, now on 98.1. And I'm here with Freed Smith and Kathleen Bruner. And we're talking about women in business, the stressful days that women go through, or that anybody for that matter can experience, men too. But one thing that I was noting was we do everything possible to avoid pain. And we do everything in our power for anything that is pleasurable, because we don't like to experience the pain part of it. If we go and we take a day off, you want to go to the beach because it's pleasurable. You want to go to, these other events or fun activities. Why do we always avoid the painful part of it?
Well, I'll tell you why. There is only two emotions. Every other emotion is a stem from one of these two emotions. Do you guys know what those are?
Love and fear.
That is right.
Absolutely.
So everything that we do is controlled by one of those emotions. You're either operating out of love or you're operating out of fear. So any negative emotion you can think of is the result of a fear-based, emotion. So we avoid pain because in essence we're avoiding the fear of the pain and so on and so forth. So if we can always try to stay in a place where we're responding from love, which is very difficult, as everyone knows, because real life is real life. We are in a human experience. So we have no choice but to be up against things we don't want to be up against. But if you can always go back to, how am I responding to this? Am I responding out of love or fear? You can mitigate some of that.
I definitely agree, but I just want, it's so interesting because I think we will do anything to avoid any painful situation. If you know if you have a conversation, it's going to be a confrontation. Do you avoid it? Of course you do.
Now, I have to disagree with you because I don't think all personalities are set up exactly the same. So I think there are personalities that are confrontational, just like I'm doing right now to you. So not everybody, I understand what you're saying. We do have a tendency to recoil from pain, but not like confrontation to one person isn't the same as confrontation to another person. So I agree to the extent that we have tried to avoid things that we perceive as negative or painful, but that those could change depending on the person and the personality.
That's true. I mean, it's a fine line between an avoidance and trying to find the pleasurable side of things on a daily basis. Because for me, I find myself always looking to want to feel happy, and you want to feel, excited. And you're just like, if it's a dreary day or it's a down day or whatever that day might be, you're just like, oh, I don't want to go there. I want to avoid, whatever that situation may be. If it's a confrontation with the kids or it's a confrontation with, something else. I mean, most people try, I think, to avoid that.
I agree. Sometimes I think walking into it, though, might be the best thing, because if it's something you do avoid and it just keeps eating at the person or eating at you, that confrontation, when it does come up, could be a lot worse than if you just did it in the beginning.
I was also thinking there's a lot of women who suffer from anxieties and suffer from things of those sort. And do you ladies think it's because we are multitaskers? That we have a lot of different job descriptions on our plate: wife, worker, mothers. I mean, why is it that women have so much more anxiety than maybe men do?
I think it is also because we are, as mothers, are protectors. We also are the ones that your kids come to when they need to go somewhere, or we're running them around to 15 different places to get them to 15 different things. They have to be here, but yet you have to work. How am I going to get them there? So the anxiety of everything that you need to do in a day, it can be literally astronomical in our eyes as a woman. But again, calendaring has a lot to do with that, and a helpful way. Helpful.
I have to calendar anything. I know you like to work out. If I don't calendar my workout, it's not happening. So I think a calendar works for me. But I understand what you're saying, Charlene. I think the time is now for women to really understand how strong they are and how much value there is in friendship with other women, how women need to lift each other up, how if you're feeling anxiety, just by speaking to someone that you trust, that you feel cares about you, it can alleviate that anxiety. If you keep to yourself and stay to yourself, I don't know that that's helpful or as helpful if you just have one or two girlfriends that really care about you, and you can just call and say, I just want to vent. Just listen to me, please. And then you can just say why you're stressed, and sometimes just doing that helps it go away.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys are tuning into the At Home with Charlene show today, Thursday, 2 to 3. And we are talking about women in business, stresses of women. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back.
You've seen them on Spike TV's Bar Rescue. Now experience the Cajun Belle in Canyon Country. The Cajun Belle, a terrific mix of SoCal Creole and the most flavorful handmade cocktails in our valley. It's the happening place, beginning with Blues Night every Wednesday from 7 to 11. Thursday is Karaoke Night with all-night happy hour featuring $1 tacos. Friday is Ladies Night with the coolest DJ in town. Check out live cover bands every weekend. The Cajun Belle on Soledad opposite the Canyon Country Post Office.
Mission Valley Bank is a commercial bank in the Santa Clarita Valley that really puts the community into community banking.
At Mission Valley Bank, we strive to be a trusted advisor to our clients, and that means being an integral part of the communities we serve. We started the Give Where You Live program to help bring awareness to our nonprofit partners. We're more than just a local business bank. In fact, we're a full-service, independent commercial bank that is locally owned, community-minded, and relationship-driven. I'm Tamara Gurney, President and CEO of Mission Valley Bank, and I invite you to experience the Mission Valley Bank difference, where your success is our mission. We want to be your most valued bank.
Mission Valley Bank has been named Most Trusted Advisor Business Banker by the San Fernando Valley Business Journal 5 years in a row and received the Business Leadership Award by the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, Valley Industry Association, and SCV Economic Development Corporation. Visit them at their Center Point branch location or at missionvalleybank.com. Member FDIC.
Celebrate Easter weekend for a life-changing, awe-inspiring, unforgettable service depicting the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. This Saturday, March 31st at 2 p.m. and Sunday, April 1st at 5 a.m. at Vasquez Rocks. The pageant-style production features music, authentic costumes, and village set decorations. Paramount Studios donated materials and labor to build a historic tomb for the resurrection. The services are sponsored by the Evangelical Coalition of Christian Churches of Acton, Agua Dulce. Admission is free. For more information, go to thesunriseservice.com.
Do you like to rock across Africa?
Then the wait is over.
Africa Rocks! Africa's Greatest Hits is now available at the San Diego Zoo! And who could forget 99 red baboons?
Or the African crested porcupine smash hit, I Got Quills to Pay the Bills. Hey, don't get too close.
And the hits keep on coming.
Africa Rocks has all your favorites from 6 different African habitats.
Hungry like a leopard.
Ibex is back.
Harder, better, fossa stronger.
And a new track from Kendrick Lamar.
Now, Larry.
Yes, Chuck?
A collection of this magnitude, I'd fly to Africa.
Well, don't pack your bags, friend. Africa Rocks is only available right here at the San Diego Zoo.
Wow, that really does rock.
No, it Africa Rocks.
Welcome to Africa Rocks. Experience 6 different African habitats, including our first ever aquatic enclosure with African penguins. Only at the San Diego Zoo.
Why do people from all over Santa Clarita come to our spa in Canyon Country? Simple. They want the highest quality services at prices that everyone can afford. This is Rosemary from Beyond Harmony Med Spa. Read our reviews and know why we won the Ultimate Beauty Awards 2 years in a row by the readers of Elite Magazine. Come and see how close we really are and experience the level of excellence that our clients have loved for the past 13 years. Go to beyondharmony.com or call 298-8008 today for a free consultation.
Don and Gino here. So we know you want to have fun learning about real estate and finance. You're going to want to tune in this Saturday, 9 a.m. to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here on your hometown station. Hot topics, as always, guiding you to personal and financial wellness. And that's right, you don't want to miss it. So again, this Saturday, 9 a.m., and then we replay it online Sunday, 9 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. right here on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Join us.
Good afternoon, everyone. You're listening to the At Home with Charlene show with Charlene. I've got my special guest today, Freed Smith with All Valley Escrow and Kathleen Bruno with Century 21 Troop Real Estate. And we are talking about women in business, the stresses that women go through, the multi-hats that we have to wear as women, wives, mothers, business associates, the whole 9 yards. And we're just doing a candid show. We're just being real women and just kind of being a little raw today with some of our conversation and answers, and so everyone can see, everyone here is very relatable, and we're all women, and most importantly is, you know, I know a lot of successful women in Santa Clarita Valley and in different businesses, and the most important thing is for all of successful women to just support each other. You know, there's nothing more exhilarating than another successful woman helping another one, either help her lift her up to a successful position where she's at, or to just help place somebody into a little bit higher regard than maybe they were at, and they just need a little bit of help. So that's what we're kind of focusing on today. And I just had made a quick note too. I said, and my note was, what would happen if we live life as we desired it versus we just reacted to how life came at us on a daily basis? Like if we lined out how we were going to live our life and we truly stayed in that course, we would be so happy.
And there are people that do that. But before we go on, I just want to put a shout out to stay-at-home moms too, because when we're talking about successful women,
absolutely,
that includes stay-at-home moms. I stayed at home for 10 years with my kids by design. Fried and I are the same age. She has grandchildren, and I have kids in high school because I waited till I could stay home with them. And amazingly enough, I couldn't believe it after about the second week that I had Carson at home with me, and I thought, oh my goodness, there's no lunch hour. And there's no days off. So
no, there's not.
So honestly, being a stay-at-home mom coming out of a corporate environment was in some ways more difficult. And I wanted to be really good at it. And there was no breaks. There was no lunch hours. There was no days off. So when we're talking about successful women, we're including stay-at-home moms because...
Yes. And when I say working women, I'm talking about those stay-at-home moms too, because, the dad can leave and he goes to a job, and that job may be stressful or whatever, but he's responsible for himself and his job and his duties. And a mom is responsible for herself, her actions, and her children. And sometimes it could be 2, 3, 4, 5 children. I see women carting around not only to different schools, within 10, 15 minutes of each other, maybe getting out of school, drop-offs, pickups, and then you're running so-and-so to baseball, so-and-so to dance, so-and-so to cheer. You're all over the place. And that's a really tough job.
And then you have the moms that homeschool.
On top of it.
On top of all that.
I mean, hats off to you, for sure.
Never forget when my husband came home and said, what do you do all day? And and we had a great relationship.
Right.
He didn't mean it the way it sounded, but I heard it the way I thought he meant it. And I thought, are you kidding me? If I didn't do the things I do all day, this is not what you'd come home to.
I guarantee you, if we did a study and we had maybe a dad, and I'm not excluding anyone because there's probably stay-at-home dads and working moms and things like that. But I'm just saying, if you took a working dad who wasn't normally home and the mom was, and she was running the house and the kids and all that, and they switched roles for 2-3 weeks, I guarantee you he will want to go back to his full-time job and let the mom or the wife run the household. It's a lot of work.
You do 10,000 things by 10 in the morning. So at least when you're at work, you can work by your calendar. There's 10,000 things on your calendar.
But you know what though? There's some great moms who have, I see like a spreadsheet and they've got it up on the refrigerator or they have it up on the wall, and there's, Sally and John and Stevie or whoever it may be. And there's all their chores and there's all of the ritual activity that they're going to be doing for that day. I mean, there's got to be some type of
staying at home like a job.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
They have to run that like a job. Yeah. When you have so many kids and
again, they only have the same amount of time in a day that we have.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely.
We just got to be creative with the hours that we have and how we address them.
They're thinking nap time doesn't come soon enough. We're thinking lunchtime doesn't come soon enough.
Exactly.
One other thing that I was thinking about, and a lot of us read different books and we turn to different things to help motivate us and things like that. And I'm sure everybody listening does too. But there's one book in particular that I'm currently reading, which is Awaken the Giant Within. And I'm sure anyone in the business world has probably read this book or maybe reading this book. And if you haven't, it's Awaken the Giant Within. Great book. You should check it out. But there's one piece of that book it just says, how amazing is it if you have the ability to change the way people feel, right? If I'm having a stress day, for example, or it's kind of an off day, I'll go to Freed because Freed's always upbeat and fun. And, she's got that way where it's, don't worry about it. So, you can really change the way somebody feels if they're having a bad day. I mean, what kind of power do you have if you're that person and you have that ability to really change the way somebody feels that day?
Yeah, I agree. I've heard it said that people will not remember what you said to them, but people will remember how you made them feel. Mm-hmm. So in that context, we all should be trying to make each other happy.
Absolutely.
and smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, every day, our world has so many different things going on and challenges, and I think more so than ever before. But how great is it that you wake up in the morning and you're just thinking, there's a lot of people who rely on me for how I make them feel, and maybe they think I'm an inspiration, or maybe they think I help lift them up in the day, or if they're having a down day, maybe they come to you, or, that's a pretty big compliment. You know, to
it
have
is.
somebody look to you for that type of a source.
It is, but I think you have to remember the person that's doing that also looks to somebody else, because you don't have 100% all the time good days. I mean, I have a lot of good days, but there's a day or two in there in the mix of all of that I feel down when I get up. Maybe I'm not feeling well, and I'll come to you.
Right.
Or
See?
I'll come to Kathleen, or I'll come to somebody else in the office, and it's all how we perceive each other. We all seem to be good friends. We all seem to know sort of what each other needs. When I come to your office and I'm like, oh man, it's been a really bad day, and you're like, okay, so what do we need to do to change that, Freed?
Because we can carry each other.
Absolutely.
And that's what I would love to get across, if nothing else, is that women need women. I just can't say it enough. I love my girlfriends. I love my girl time. I think when you're making a life that you really want, like you're talking about, Charlene, that friendship has got to be one of the big categories, because I can't get from my husband or my sons what I can get from my friends. It's totally different things. Even my mom is one of my very best friends, and yet we still have a mother and daughter relationship. So I just really value my friendships with girls, and seem to cultivate with women that are all interested in lifting each other up. We all have that in common. And I think that's a really nice basis for one of the big legs in your life.
I agree. I think you have to have people in your corner that will help you, lift you up, make you feel better. Again, I do a lot of praying throughout the day. It's just one of those things, and it makes me feel good. So.
And Freed, you're extremely generous. That's one thing about your personality. It's just really lovely.
Well,
I
thank you.
have seen you do for me and for others just really what makes it special is out of the blue, generous things, which lets us know that you're thinking about us when we're not with you or we haven't just seen you. You have come to my office with just a gift or a nice thing to say or just to pop by for no reason.
Well, thank you.
I love it. It
Well,
makes
thank
me
you.
think I'm important to you.
You are.
It makes me think you think about me. And so then in turn, I want to do that for someone else also. It just
That's good.
inspires me. And I think so. It's kind of a round robin.
You guys are listening to the At Home with Charlene show on Thursdays from 2 to 3. And we're talking about women, uplifting women, women in business. And I got my guests with me today, Freed Smith and Kathleen Bruno. And I really admire a lot of successful people. And I think that the thing that I admire about them is the success, and maybe it's success as a business coach. Maybe it is success in a business. Maybe it's success as being just a great overall person. Whatever that may be, it's just nice to look at other people and just see that they're trying to help somebody, or that they're trying to make a difference for somebody, or that we're supporting one another. There's nothing better than seeing each other supporting everybody than just somebody putting somebody else down that might be a little bit ahead of them, or, just trying to take a little, knife stab at somebody else, just, that might be one or two steps ahead. I always think you can look ahead and you can learn. Learn what somebody else is doing. Learn as to what's made somebody else successful. We should definitely be a world where we're helping each other. And
I think our experiences help us do that. I think when we have bad experiences, we learn from them. What did we learn? Did we learn something good? Did we learn, we never want to do that again? Those kind of things. And I think when we're in trials, again, those trials are laid out in front of us for us to learn from.
Absolutely. And I don't think a mistake is truly a mistake. It might just be something you attempted, and maybe that situation or maybe that approach didn't work, but you had to figure out a different approach. You say, okay, well, that one didn't work. Let me just, move over here and let me see if there's a different way that maybe I can tackle that. Or, there really isn't, you're really not succeeding if you're trying. And if you're trying, it might not happen the first 1, 2, or 3 times. You might have to say, okay, maybe that didn't work out. Let's try this. Or, okay, that's not working. Let me, go over here. But I think to be successful, you have to be able to make a decision, and you have to be able to move yourself in that direction.
Well, I have to say, I've known you for 7 years. We've worked together since we both came into the company we're at. I have seen you grow by leaps and bounds. This year, you have stepped out of your box in so many different avenues. I commend you on every single one of them because you have taken it from here and you've brought it to here. And you're focused. We're only to the end of March, and you've done so many things since January.
And I think what what everyone can do, not just myself, not just Free, not just Kathleen, but everybody listening, is if you just step a little bit outside of your comfort zone, because it's easy to stay in that comfortable place. It's easy to just say, hey, you know what? I'm in cruise control. I'm kind of just going to stay right here. And, it's comfortable. But as soon as you put yourself in a little bit of an uncomfortable position, like a radio show,
right,
or, just networking events, or just really putting yourself out there. And there's nothing to be afraid of. The fear only exists in yourself because you're placing it there.
That's something Kathleen mentioned.
You're
fear
not,
or love.
but you're only placing that fear on yourself.
Absolutely.
Because everybody is capable. Everybody's more than capable of doing anything.
How we take some of our new agents that are maybe nervous to door knock. They're nervous because of fear. Mm-hmm. If we can explain to them, if you're working for the love of your family, the love of your children, providing for your family, you have a heart to help people when you're knocking on the door, you just want to see how you can be of service, and we can change the rhetoric that they're thinking, suddenly knocking on somebody's door isn't scary because you're just there to help and you're just trying to provide for your family, and it takes the fear out of it.
The word rejection comes to mind when you talk about the agents that have to door knock. Again, that's a fear factor.
It is.
That's one of the words that would come up under fear.
But you just look at 4 different people can knock on the same person's door and get rejected, and 4 different people are going to interpret that rejection, so to speak, differently. In fact, at least one of them's not even going to interpret it as rejection. They're going to interpret it as, well, I know it's a numbers game. Thank goodness I got that no out of the way.
Yeah.
So it's all between the ears. It's how we frame it out dictates everything.
And it's also how do we see the fear and the vulnerability that we're in, and how do we redirect that? Not everyone's going to like us. Not everyone's going to want to be our friend. But you know what? But here's a good point I want to make is the people who do want to listen, or who do want to surround themselves, with you, or that want to be a friend or whatever, you will be the best friend you can have, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
you're going to give it your all. And, there's going to be people, okay, well, that's fine. Not everyone's going to love us, and not everyone's going to say yes. Not everyone's going to want to work with us. Not everyone's going to want to be a friend, but that's fine. That's fine too.
I used to teach a strength training class, and there's probably about 28 people in the class at any given moment, anywhere from 24 to 30. So an average of 28 people. And what I believed when I stood up on that mic to teach was 30% of those people are going to absolutely love me. And 30% of those people are not going to like me at all. And 30% of those people don't even care who's standing up there. They're just not even, they're in their own head. They don't even care who's in front of class.
That's a true statement. Because when I first learned sales long ago, one of the first things I was ever taught when I was probably 18 or 19 years old, just starting into a pretty significant sales position, was people want to be entertained and people want to hear something and they'll listen. But you have to talk with enthusiasm. You have to talk with projection. You have to actually communicate and grasp an audience. And if you could do that, then people are going to listen. People will listen. It doesn't mean that they're going to put it into effect. Doesn't mean that they're going to remember it, 10 minutes from when they leave. But if you're entertaining in some way, they're going to pay attention. They're going to listen to you.
Yeah. And honestly, the ones that listen to you are awesome. And the ones that don't listen, that's okay too. Because everything's not a fit. So it's kind of like that statement I was talking about today that I absolutely love from that song that I like, where she says, those that matter don't mind, and those that mind don't matter. And that's a great words to live by, because you want to cultivate the best relationships with people that matter. Mm-hmm. And it's okay if not everybody likes you. It's okay if you're not a fit with everybody. But you do need to be a fit with somebody, and you do need to try to cultivate deep relationships and loving relationships all through your life.
And you know, when you get to that point of being pained or you're just so tired of that one routine over and over, at some point that pain or that fear or whatever it is you're just gonna get so tired of it that you're gonna be ready to change it. And you're only going to, and you probably have experienced this where you're just thinking, okay, situation kind of just has bothered you and bothered you and bothered you and bothered you. And finally you're just, you know what? I am not going to do this one more day. And that's when you take action. And that's when you no longer let that fear stop you, or you no longer let that situation halt you up anymore. You're like, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to try something new, or I'm going to go in a different direction. And you go in a different way and you're happy. Right?
Absolutely. I think if one thing doesn't work, don't give up. Just do it a different way. Come at it at a different angle. Come at it differently.
Absolutely. Well, you've been listening to the At Home with Charlene show. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with some closing comments on women and women in business.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit PattersonsCollisionCenter.com or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Bob, I don't believe you.
You're jaded, Blanche.
Read my lips, Bob. You've had a history of exaggeration.
It's true. They're building Castaic High School.
Castaic High, like in Castaic, California.
That's right, Blanche.
Prove it, Bob.
Go to your computer, type in CastaicHighProject.com and get free and frequent updates.
What's that web address again?
CastaicHighProject.com.
With fervor, like you really mean it.
CastaicHighProject.com. Santa Clarita Valley has a long history of safe, reliable water service. SCV Water is dedicated to increasing efficiencies, protecting our vital resources, and improving their customers' experiences. That's you. Meet them at their new home on the web at yourscvwater.com. There, you can find the latest news, rebates, and much more. That's yourscvwater.com. They can't wait to serve you.
Comfort Keepers provides your loved one with loving in-home care.
Miles McNamara, certified senior advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care.
Our caregivers can help you in your own home, enhancing independence, creating safety and comfort. Our Comfort Keepers provide companionship, meal preparation, medication reminders, assistance with personal care, and even transportation to doctor's appointments. If someone you love can use a helping hand at home, visit ComfortKeepers.com.
Or call 287-4200.
Little Eye Leaders is the newest preschool in the Santa Clarita Valley. At Little Eye Leaders, our outstanding teachers lead with intellect, perspective, and heart. That means our programs provide a warm, nurturing atmosphere to meet the unique needs of each child. We believe that play is a powerful form of learning for young children. That's why our kids have every opportunity to learn through the magic and excitement of play. Parents, schedule a tour today by calling 303-0400 or online at littleeyeleaders.org.
Weekends are now exciting in Santa Clarita as Persia Hookah Lounge hosts its House of Entertainment every weekend night from 8 to 11. Thursdays feature a DJ on the hookah patio. Stop by Fridays for performances by Belly Dancer of the Universe winner Jasmina, or Saturdays to hear great local live bands. Persia Lounge also caters for both homes and businesses, starting as low as $8. Discover Persia Hookah Lounge on Main Street, where it's all happening in Old Town Newhall. Persia-lounge.com.
Hi, Kirk Stinson here with Plumbing by Kirk, your hometown plumber, here to let you know that it's sometimes more cost-effective to have Plumbing by Kirk fix it than to have your husband wrestle with those plumbing problems. And if you play your cards right, you might not have to let him know that we were even there. We invite you to visit our website for free plumbing advice at plumbingbyKirk.com or give us a call, 263-6519. That's 263-6519.
My dad is the best plumber ever. Plumbing by Kirk.
It's not too late to start your finish at College of the Canyons. They have short-term classes starting in the next few weeks for all kinds of people. People who need weekend classes, people who like photography, people who like rock and roll, stargazers, cartoon lovers, wine enthusiasts, and more. Need flexibility? Check out the online classes they offer. There's never been a better time to start your finish. Visit canyons.edu/class schedule.
Welcome back to the At Home with Charlene show. My special guests today, Freed Smith and Kathleen Bruno. And we've spent the hour talking about women in business, the stresses that women have. And when we say women in business, we also mean the moms that are in business at home taking care of kids as well. Because we know as moms that is a challenge that we all face too. I wanted to bring something up because Kathleen's going to be starting her own show here at KHTS. And she's going to have a show, Women Supporting Women. And so do you know what day and time you're going to have your show yet? Or is it still up in the air?
We have a general idea, but I don't want to speak to it until it's solidified.
Okay, so we're going to give you more information coming up down the road. So her show is going to talk more about women, helping women, and multiple factors on there. But that'll be a great show for everyone to tune into as well. But, it's a difficult place for a lot of working women and men as well. But the one thing we were talking to today is just uplifting each other and just helping one another be successful. You don't want to take another successful person down because you might not be where they're at. But what you want to do is just look at where they're at. If there's somebody you admire, ask them what they're doing. Ask them, what have they done to get to that position? Maybe there's a few things that you can put into place that, could help benefit or lift you up in your position. I just feel that if we really reach out and help each other and we help one another become better and stronger and more vivacious as women, that we could all be successful. And I think that there's nothing better than giving somebody else a pat on the back for doing a great job and for being successful. There's a lot of women that I look up to. There's a lot of women that are inspiring to me and that I can learn from and that I would love to have teach me the things that they're doing. I don't feel intimidated by them. I feel encouraged by them.
Yeah, because they show you what is possible. They've led the way to show you what is possible.
Absolutely. And we're only putting the limitations on ourselves. We're only limiting our own ability by saying, oh, you know what, I'm not good for that. Or, oh, you know what, that's not for me. Or maybe it is for you. I never thought I would have any type of radio show going or enjoy it or
be really good
love
at
it.
As it turns out, be amazing at it.
Absolutely.
But you don't know, until somebody says, hey, you know what, why don't you give it a shot? And you're thinking, oh, you know what? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to be great at something like that, but you can learn. Yeah. You can learn, you can try, you can excel, you can put yourself out there. So I guess the message I want this show to give is don't put limitations on yourself. Don't think that you're not good enough for something. Don't think that you're not able to achieve something because the limitations are your own. I mean, they
don't really exist. This is the reality. I mean, there aren't any limitations. You only
set them on yourself.
You have today, and the past is nowhere. It's irrelevant. The future is not here yet. You have today, and you can decide to be anyone you want.
And if somebody's got an opportunity, if somebody is listening to our show and they're thinking, oh, I have this opportunity, but I just don't think I'm good for it, give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah, say yes. That's my mantra.
Say yes.
We say yes. We
right.
are.
You're going to be amazing.
In my family, we are yes people. So
that's absolutely true. I tell my daughter, no doesn't exist in our family.
Right.
And it's not an option. She goes, Mom, I have to, hopefully she's listening. She says, I have to run today, and if I don't pass a certain time, it's going to be a problem, and I have to make up a run. And I said, perfect. You're going to go. You're going to tackle that first one. You're going to make sure you eat all your food. You make sure you drink all your water. You're going to go back, and you're going to make up your run, and you're going to get it done, and you're going to feel amazing that you did it.
I think one of the things is when raising my kids, when they started something, I wouldn't let them quit.
Nope.
And it was the thing of, okay, Are you sure you want to do this as a sports, let's say? Are you sure you want to do this? Because the minute I write that check, you're in it for the season. I mean, there was many times my daughter, I would pick her up, she would cry, she had to go to soccer practice. But at the end of the season, she made her first goal. I looked at her and I said, "You want to play next season?" "Oh, no, I'm done."
But you know what, though?
But just don't let them quit.
What if you quit and you were seconds away from
absolutely
greatness?
Just
you were
don't
just
quit.
seconds or moments away from just that greatness happening.
Absolutely.
You know, why you can't be a person who quits. You just can't. You know, I mean, at least you got to go out trying. You know, you got to get some battle wounds and you got to go out trying. Don't be a quitter. Don't give up. Don't say you can't do something, because if you tell yourself you can't do something, then in your mind you're really thinking you can.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
you're right. You're actually right when you tell yourself you can't do something.
You got to wake up saying, I can do today. I can do anything that's presented to me. I can do anything that is laid in front of me, and I'm going to do it with a smile, and I'm going to do it the best of my ability.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, what other way are you going to do it?
And if I can't answer the question, I'm going to find somebody that can.
Yes, and we live by that too. And also, a big thing for us is we work from abundance. So when people ask us what we've done to be as successful as we are, we tell them. You just work from abundance. The scarcity is only in your brain of what you make it. So there's enough love to go around. There's enough friendship to go around. There's enough business to go around. There's enough everything to go around. So work from abundance. Lift other people up. Do your very best, and just keep stepping into the yes.
Absolutely. And if you've seen everybody else doing well, you want to see yourself doing well too, right? I mean, you're giving that projection of, let's be great together. You know, let's just all have a great industry. Let's have a great perspective on life, and let's just turn things around. It's going to be one person. Everyone has to wake up and say, what can I do great today? What can I do to make a little bit of a difference? And, you know, maybe that means buying somebody a coffee. Maybe that means, you know, treating somebody to lunch. Maybe that just a little bit out of your comfort zone, but just be the best you can be. And,
Absolutely.
you know, do the greatest you can for the length of time we have it, and just don't be afraid.
And surround yourself with like-minded people. Sitting here with you guys today, so enjoyable for me. You're like-minded. We think a lot of the same. We think enough differently to make it interesting.
Correct.
But we also have, high goals set for ourselves, our family, and our relationships. And I think you just surround yourself by people, and they pull you up, and you pull them up.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to thank everyone for listening today. We've had a great show. You've been listening to the At Home with Charlene show, Thursdays 2 to 3 on KHTS 1220 and 98.1. I thank you for tuning in. We'll look forward to you visiting us next week. Make it a great one.